Accounting for Risk, a USAG Stuttgart cyber awareness story. Hopefully, this funding shutdown comes to a swift end. In the meantime, as a team, we are all feeling the uncertainty of the times. I encourage everyone to ignore divisive messaging in the news and stick together, support one another, and stay on the positive track. If finances are a concern, then contact the Stuttgart Army Community Services, ACS, for guidance, and if needed, resources that offer zero-interest loans to get any experiencing hardships requiring such support. Before we start, I want to take a moment to reintroduce you to our new community messaging platform called the OPSEC Minute Extended. On Mondays, even during a funding shutdown, we hope to continue using this space, in both text and posted videos, to share both a little OPSEC, or Operation Security Wisdom, along with an occasional Marvel team-up bridge that ties into other regulatory security disciplines and policies that our leadership and the Department of Army embrace. As October is Cyber Awareness Month, our OPSEC Minute Secure narratives will feature a cyber awareness flavor, along with a message to the Stuttgart garrison's hardworking staff and workforce still on the job to ensure they complete their security training and Cyber Awareness Challenge 2026. For more on the latter training, Google Cyber Awareness Challenge 2026 and click the login with the CAC icon. As for the posted video, we realize reading a page of dialogue is not everyone's cup of tea. As an alternative, please feel free to check out the video of this and other OPSEC Minute stories on our YouTube Secure Narratives channel. Simply click the link and let it play in the background as you tackle your morning routine and backlog of email. All right, that quick moment has passed. Enjoy today's secure narrative. Prologue. The calm before the glitch. The last audit of fiscal year 25. September 27th, 2025. In the quiet hum of the Resource Management Office, RMO, Jesse Lambo stared at his screen like a man waiting for it to confess. End-of-year audits were usually chaotic, but this one felt off. The numbers didn't just misbehave. They lied politely. Duplicate payments, consulting charges that smelled more like vacations, and a few travel vouchers that claimed steakhouse strategy sessions in Heidelberg. Jesse wasn't a cyber expert, but his gut had an alarm system. "Looks like someone's been wining and dining with our taxpayer dollars," muttered Sergeant First Class Maria Rodriguez, his no-nonsense NCOIC. Brenda Miller leaned over from the next cubicle, coffee in hand. "Hope they brought leftovers, because the ice cream machine at FMWR's been broken since 2019. The jokes helped, but Jesse knew this wasn't just about sloppy math. Something deeper, someone, was pulling strings. Act 1. The Cause, when curiosity meets complacency. A few late-night logins and an out-of-place vendor name led Jesse to the first breadcrumb. Tech Solutions GmbH, a small IT outfit with brand-new ownership, a familiar name. Klaus Richter, a retired garrison employee who used to help with procurement forms. Richter had found an easy target, a young contracting officer, Lieutenant Sarah Jenkins. He'd played mentor, friendly messages, helpful advice, and finally a USB labeled Exercise Logistics Final. Sarah plugged it in. Within seconds, her system was compromised. The attacker now had access to real government systems and real money pipelines. It wasn't a dramatic Hollywood hack, just classic social engineering, tricking people into helping criminals without realizing it. The next morning, Jesse briefed his boss, Mr. Demetrius James, RMO Director, a calm strategist who saw patterns faster than a knife fight in a phone booth. His deputy, Julian Kiefa, former IT wizard turned budget hawk, joined with a dry quip, "Never trust a USB that arrives before coffee." Together, they pulled in Mr. Alonzo Edwards, the garrison security manager, and the Stuttgart Army Counterintelligence (CI) team. CI confirmed the breach had human fingerprints, not foreign code, an insider exploiting weak cyber and OPSEC habits. Act 2. The Effect: A Family on Mission. The RMO didn't panic, they mobilized. Demetrius and Julian ran the operation like clockwork. Isolate systems, preserve evidence, and remind everyone that OPSEC, operational security, and cyber awareness aren't training buzzwords, they're daily discipline. Maria locked down office procedures. Jesse traced the suspicious payments line by line. The 409th Contracting Support Brigade jumped in to review vendor files and contracting protocols, making sure future approvals would go through more eyes than ever before. The team worked in shifts fueled by caffeine, sarcasm, and purpose. "We're not just balancing books," Demetrius told them. "We're protecting the mission, and every family who depends on it." When counterintelligence tracked Klaus Richter to Frankfurt Airport, the scene was almost anticlimactic. He wasn't a criminal mastermind, just a bored opportunist with a suitcase full of excuses. The CI team handed him over to authorities. Act 3. The Consequence: Lessons Written in Code and Coffee. The arrests, the court-martial of Lieutenant Jenkins, and the recovery of funds were only the beginning. The RMO and the garrison found themselves in a kind of cultural surgery. What hurt wasn't just the betrayal, it was what it exposed. The root causes weren't individual failings, they were structural soft spots: a lax OPSEC culture, thin cyber awareness, casual habits like unlocked workstations, and a procurement rhythm that trusted convenience more than verification. Demetrius refused to handle it with sermons or scolding. Instead, he launched OPSEC Plus, a campaign built on humility and practice. "We're not after compliance," he told the staff, marker in hand at the first brown bag session. "We're after reflex." OPSEC Plus stitched together the physical and the digital. Clean desks, visible badges, locked screens, phishing simulations, and a standing rule that any strange request deserved a pause and a second opinion. Julian was in his element designing the tabletop exercises. He built them to mirror the breach: carefully planted fake emails, mystery USB drives, phone calls from vendors who sounded just friendly enough. The first round was a disaster. People clicked, trusted, and forgot to question, which was exactly the point. "Failure without judgment," Julian said, "is how you learn to spot the real thing." Demetrius kept the messaging grounded. In one staff brief, he wrote 3 lines on the board and left them there all week. "Training isn't a checkbox. OPSEC is habit, and cyber awareness is survival." He added, "Someone will always try to befriend you for the wrong reasons. Train for that." To reinforce the lesson, he created a safe reporting channel and a short-term amnesty window, a place where someone could admit, "I clicked," without fear of automatic punishment. Alonzo and the RMO's HR liaison ran it like triage: respond fast, contain damage, and turn each mistake into a case study. "Confidence without competence is dangerous," Alonzo said during one late-night debrief, sipping burnt coffee. "Let's make competence our habit." Act 4. Leading by Example. The garrison, under Colonel Edward Sanford, owned the issue publicly. Instead of finger-pointing, he called it a teachable victory. He backed Demetrius and Julian's initiative, giving them time, resources, and visibility. The message from the top was clear: no shame, just learning. Lieutenant Jenkins, remorseful and cooperative, was folded into the healing process. She began helping craft real-world vignettes for new hire training, phishing traps disguised as friendly favors, mentorships that slide into manipulation. Her mistakes became the warnings that stuck. The Stuttgart counterintelligence team played their quiet but crucial part, confirming the breach was human, not foreign, and using the case as a live teaching example across tenant units. Their debriefs hit harder than any PowerPoint ever could. The ripple spread. The 409th Contracting Support Brigade refined oversight protocols, mandating dual-person verification and clearer vendor vetting before funds ever moved. Finance and contracting finally spoke the same language. Cautious. IMCOM Europe took notice. Headquarters praised Stuttgart's RMO for turning a breach into a blueprint. Their after-action report became the basis for a Europe-wide improvement plan, emphasizing better contracting oversight with the 409th CSB, mandatory two-person verification for financial transactions, scenario-based cyber training with humor and realism, and a no-blame incident reporting culture was introduced. Recognition came formally through an IMCOM-E letter of commendation, signed by the region director, lauding the Stuttgart RMO's professionalism, teamwork, and leadership in restoring integrity and strengthening cyber and OPSEC posture across the theater. Epilogue. The renewal. What right looks like. Months later, the RMO buzzed with normal noise again. But things had changed. Desktops locked automatically. People paused before clicking links. Trust, but verify, was more than a slogan. It was muscle memory. Jesse's garage therapy, polishing chrome on an old Triumph, had become his metaphor for the job. Clean, steady, detailed work that keeps things from rusting. When the staff from headquarters IMCOM-E visited for a best practices briefing, Colonel Sanford introduced Jesse as the guy who read the numbers until they told the truth. Demetrius and Julian didn't let it turn into hero worship. They turned it into a culture, humility, humor, and vigilance. At the next staff meeting, Brenda raised her mug. To OPSEC, she said, and to keeping the bad guys bored. Everyone laughed, the lights hummed, and the RMO got back to work, protecting the mission, one spreadsheet, one click, and one smart decision at a time. Thank you for sticking around as we continue testing the boundaries of an extended storyboard. Think of it as security training with a plot twist and a fresh way to both educate our team and connect with our military community. Subscribe to our Secure Narratives YouTube channel. Hit us with a like and watch our new updates, which will be uploaded with or without a government funding shutdown in effect. Also, if you have other suggestions or ideas, or are interested in a personalized name drop, or your work center's inclusion to our tales, don't hold back. Send a quick note or use the interactive customer evaluation system to share your thoughts. We're all ears and ready to make things even better. So, until next Monday's OPSEC Minute Extended, keep those comments coming and stay engaged.